Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Balava Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Balava Girivaradhari Jasodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Jasodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Shri Radha Madhava Ju ki Shri Prabhupada ki Jai Om Vishnu Paramahansa Parivrajakachaja Ashtotara Sudasi Shiman His Divine Grace the Boy Sharanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai ISKCON Pratistha Acharya Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Ananta Kota Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Shyamakunda Radha Kundi Govardhana ki Sri Vrindavan Dham ki Jai Navadip Mayapur Dham ki Jai Sri Sri Radha Sri Krishna Jananivasa Mahotsav ki Jai Ganga Mai ki Jai Jamuna Mai ki Jai Bhakti Devi ki Jai Tulsi Maharani ki Jai Sri Harinam Sankirtan Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai Jai Nitai Go Premanandi Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glory to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga Nitai Gopimanandi. Is there anything on the board? Om Agyanti Mikandasya Janan Janan Shalaki Vachakshu Markandini Tasmai Shri Hri Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Garadha Shiva Shari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Sri Krishna Janamastami ki Jai. So we're celebrating the appearance of Sri Krishna, the original personality of Godhead, Govindamati Purusham, Krishna with his pleasure potency Srimati Radharani. This is the original feature of Godhead. All the other features of Godhead expand from this original feature of Godhead of Krishna, Radha and Vrindavan, and all the other different rasas. They are to enhance the main rasa, Radha and Krishna, bringing Radha and Krishna together and separating them. This is a picture of Vrindavan. Everybody is working to bring Radha and Krishna together, then working to separate them. Like they have to be back at a certain time when they're in the forest. So this Sambhoga, Vipalambram Sambho, separation and union. This is the picture of Vrindavan. And of all the features of these pastimes of Krishna, and his feature with the conjugal affairs of Radha and Krishna is the original feature of Godhead. So that original person comes out of his, completely causes mercy to the material world sometimes. Even in Kali Yuga he will come in different forms. Especially in the form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and also in the form of his holy name. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 17, it's Kali Kale Namarupi Krishna Avatara. In this age of Kali, Krishna has appeared as the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. This is another appearance of the Lord. He's appearing in his own holy name. And Prabhupada said in the Srimad Bhagavatam, what we're reading now, that 10 chapter, 22nd verse, 2nd chapter. Prabhupada said Krishna has taken birth or taken shelter within the womb of the Krishna consciousness movement. ISKCON ki. Okay? So Krishna's taken his birth in Prabhupada's, or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement, but Prabhupada establishing the and in Jamuna's book, she mentions a couple of times how Prabhupada said the Maha Mantra is it's a vibration, it's a transcendental sound. Which when it's experienced as a sound incarnation of the absolute truth, it will naturally attract one to the presence of Krishna in his holy name. I was in Prabhupada's room one time with Shatsvarup Maharaj. Prabhupada was chanting, walking into his bedroom, then walking back into his office. And we were just sitting on the floor. And Prabhupada was very grave the way he was chanting, and he was slowly walking backwards and forwards. And he came and he approached us and he stopped. And he said, this chanting, Hare Krishna, is the sound incarnation of the absolute truth. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Very, very kumbhya, very grave. But he was experiencing also the sound vibration of the absolute truth. So when anybody comes into contact with this transcendental sound vibration, they can experience Krishna. It's a direct process. It is Krishna. It's not a process we're actually like trying to progress on a different progress, like Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. But the goal is Krishna. The goal and the means are Krishna. He is present in his service, in his holy name, and he is present there. So it's Krishna consciousness is a direct perception of Krishna. Of course, one has to be qualified and purified to feel that vibration. The Prabhupada said in another letter, he wanted to start a world Harinam Sankirtan to go all around the world. It's about 1968. And he was telling Jamuna and the other devotees that you should form this Sankirtan, world Sankirtan. We'll start in India, and then we'll eventually, Prabhupada wanted to take it all around the world. So In a letter from Srila Prabhupada to one Mr. Agarwala, 1968, Srila Prabhupada wanted Mr. Agarwala to organize a Sankirtan party in India, and Prabhupada would send some American devotees to train them in their style of kirtan. Srila Prabhupada said, I think it is very nice, I think a very nice Sankirtan party can be organized to travel all over the world. I have tested it. It definitely has that melodious vibration of Sankirtan. If they are performed by serious devotees, and if they perform by serious devotees, it can attract people from the very spiritual platform. From the very spiritual platform we can be attracted by hearing that. They hear that vibration. It's one of my godbrothers. His name is Acharya Das, from New Zealand. He was a butcher. His profession was killing animals. But he said he was in his city, and then he heard this Sankirtan, and he saw the devotees were coming in Harinam Sankirtan in the street, and they were dancing, and it was full of ecstasy. And I don't know if he had seen them before, but somehow or another he said, no, he said he hadn't seen them before, but somehow or another he said he just ran to them. He said, and tears were pouring from his eyes, and he just saw them dancing, and he started dancing and showing all symptoms of ecstasy. He'd never seen them before, but he told me this story. So how effective it was. So Krishna is there in his holy name. And so Prabhupada was saying in this letter, if it's done by serious devotees, it can attract people from the very spiritual platform. And it at once makes this spiritual background very smooth. Then spiritual instruction from Bhagavad Gita can be implemented very nicely. So if you can set the mood with kirtan, Harinam Kirtan, it sets a mood, a spiritual vibration, and then spiritual instruction can be given. Then it'll make more sense if you're feeling something when you're hearing holy name. It means his mentality can be set, and then that makes a good background for teaching or hearing. Then we can hear Bhagavad Gita nicely from this transcendental background. We can hear the teachings will come through more because of the presence of the Sankirtan, which is the Lord's, His own presence is there, it can be felt. Then teaching becomes easier, you can hear. Something like the Gurukul, when the boys are Gurukul, they go to Gurukul at the age of 5, and they practiced into chanting Om. You know Om, Gurukul? Om. Anyway, they practice as young boys to chant Om, and that brings them to the transcendental platform. When they realize that then the Guru can teach, he teaches it. Especially the bhakti gurus, they can teach more esoterical teachings because they understand that Om, the places at the background, makes things, teaching go smoothly. Realization is there. So then Prabhupada's continuing. So my first concrete program is that if you agree to organize such a Sankirtan party, this is to one Mr. Agarwala. He is writing this later. If you agree to such a Sankirtan party, a batch of American students, and I may also join, and I can combine these Americans and the Indian devotees together under discipline. So Prabhupada wanted some batch of devotees to come here and learn from the Bengalis kirtan. And then he would train them, Prabhupada would train them under discipline. I combine these American and Indian devotees together. So Prabhupada said he had experience. I have tested it, and it definitely, that melodious vibration of Sankirtans, if performed by serious devotees, can attract people from the very spiritual platform. And there's a letter from Mukunda, 1970. Letter to Mukunda. The World Sankirtan Party should consist of members who can impress spiritual ecstasy in the hearts of the people, so that some of them may come forward and agree to establish a center where the Sankirtan parties may go on. It's to Mukunda. So the party should consist of members who can impress spiritual ecstasy in the hearts of people. So we have some of these. Govinda Maharaj, when you hear his kirtan, you certainly get something, ecstasy. He can impress ecstasies. So, as factually sambandha, you're getting a connection to Krishna on the transcendental platform through the transcendental sound vibration. And you're feeling the presence of the Lord in the holy name. So Krishna is appearing in many forms, especially the holy name. This is the Harinamo Harinami Kevalam Kalu Nasteva 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 Gatiranyata. So whatever devotional service we do should always be accompanied by the holy name. It's like the life of everything. We have the Nava Bhakti, Shravanam Kirtanam Smarana Vandana Padasevanam Pujana Sakichani Atmana Vedanam. The 9 angas of bhakti, but if the holy name is there, then they don't become complete. But if the holy name is there along with the other 8 angas of bhakti, then then it becomes complete. So Krishna can do that. He can appear in his own holy name. He's non-different between Krishna's form, Krishna's name is on the absolute platform. So he can appear in the holy name. And in Kali Yuga, Kalo Sudra Sambhavi, so we're all Sudras, so how we can make spiritual advancement, feel transcendental vibration, we're all there. But the activities of Sudras, or the occupation of Sudras, is they dance, they chant. The Gandharvas and all these, they're considered Sudras. So it's the perfect process for Kali Yuga, because everyone is Sudra, born a Sudra. So the occupation of dancing and chanting is done by Sudras. So it's a good occupation. So anyway, somehow or another we become attracted. So Krishna, he can appear in all different forms, even funny forms, like Jagannath. But he makes me very happy when I see Jagannath. It's a strange form, but he appears there in thousands of pastimes of Here Rajapur, how Lord Jagannath made his appearance here to his devotee. He appears as the deities. Here at the Chaitanya Mat, you have Radha Gandhava Giridhari. You've seen that where you go to Chaitanya Mat, next to the past the Jog Pit, you got Chaitanya Mat. So when Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur was establishing that Chaitanya Mat, and he wanted some deities for the temple, so they went to Jaipur, where they make marble deities, and so he was looking, and then the shopkeeper came and he said, your deities are here, these deities in the corner, these are your deities. And Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur said, how do you know I want deities? And how do you know these are my deities? And he said that last night these deities appeared in my dream, and they said tomorrow one Mahapurusha will come and I want to accept his seva. So he said, I can see that that person is you. You are that Maha Bhagavata. So you please take the deities. And he actually donated Radha Gandhava Giridhari to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. They became his, they say he was his favorite deities. So so our relationship is with Radha Madhava here at the Mayapur Chandra Mandir of the TOVP. So we can tell of their appearance here. Shri Radha Madhava ki jai. Radha Madhava Janmasmi Ocha ki. So when Srila Prabhupada was on this world's a Sankirtan party we just hearing about, when Prabhupada was in Vrindavan, then one life member, Mr. Dolmia, he donated 3 sets of deities to Prabhupada. One set he sent to Berkeley, one set to Boston, and the other set Prabhupada kept with him on the party of the travelling Sankirtan. Excuse me. And when Prabhupada was in Gorakhpur, he was chanting this song to these deities, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. And he went into an ecstasy, internal ecstasy, for some time. Then afterwards he came external again. And he said, this is such a nice song. He said, this is a picture of Vrindavan. He said, Radha Madhava there, Jasoda is there, Jamuna, Govardhan. And such a nice song. So we like to think that this was the installation of Radha Madhava, but Prabhupada was just chanting and went into ecstasy. Apparently he did the same thing when they got to Allahabad also, two times. So, it was a great success. You can see the video, Hare Krishna people, I think, video, especially when they were in Surat. And they got a big reception there because everyone in Surat is a Krishna Bhakta, so they received the devotee so well. So many garlands, and they were just going through the streets, and they were narrow street, they were hanging their saris, the ladies were hanging saris from one house to the other, so like make a shade umbrella for the Sankirtan party to come. And you see that film, you can see the ecstasy in the devotees' faces. And yeah, it was a big success. Then finally they came to Kolkata. And then Srila Prabhupada said, now the deities should stay here. They should stay here in Calcutta. So then they stayed there with Radha Govindaji in Albert Road. When they moved to that centre, Albert Road, before they were in the Hindustan Road, then they had a big pandal at the Maidan. And I think that time also was the official installation. Anyway, then they entered into the 3 Albert Road temple, which is still existing there, and they've been presiding over this temple Radha Govinda. But Radha Madhava was there for some time, and in 1972, Srila Prabhupada wanted to, they had the first ISKCON Gopurnima festival in Sridham Mayapur, Ki Jai, 1972. And so it was a great program, very successful. Prabhupada invited all of his godbrothers. Prabhupada personally climbed down the hole and to install the Anantashesh with his godbrothers were there. And more or less on the, where are we? Southwest corner of the TOVP. That's where the foundation was laid, that area there, for the whole project. So anyway, at the end of the festival, Gopurnima festival, everybody went back to their countries, mostly Americans. That Krishna consciousness had developed more in America at that time, so there's about 70 devotees, mostly all American. And anyway, so everybody left, they went back to their countries. And Prabhupada said, where is Radha Madhava? And the devotees said, well, we put them in the trunk. We used to have to carry them in a little steel trunk. And they're going back to Calcutta. And Prabhupada said, no. He said, now they're here in Mayapur, they should stay here. They should not leave here. So, because at that time Radha Madhava came from Calcutta to attend the program. They were presiding over the Pandal program. Yeah, then Prabhupada said, no, they should stay here now. We said, Prabhupada, where will they stay? He said, where are you staying? We said, we only have the Bhajan Kutir. That was all that was existing. We had some tents and everything for all the devotees. But the Bhajan Kutir was the only building, so Prabhupada said, no, then Radha Madhava can stay there until we build a temple, nice temple. So then Radha Madhava stayed there from 1972. And then towards the end of 1972, there was a program in Hyderabad. And Prabhupada wanted, I think he got some land donated and he wanted to establish a temple there. So he had a big program, a Pandal program. And thousands of people will come for these Pandal programs. And the devotees were thinking, we don't have any deities. There's no deities to take for the Pandal. They said there are some small deities in Calcutta, little Radha Gopinath, they're about 6 inches high, but nobody can see them. There's thousands of people. They'll get lost. So they said, well, we can take Radha Madhava from Mayapur. They can come to the program. They're good size, and everybody can see them. And we can take little Radha Gopinath from Calcutta and into Mayapur, and the worship can go on in Mayapur to the small Radha Gopinathji just during the program. So that happened, and Radha Madhava went to Hyderabad. And then the Srila Prabhupada came to attend the program, and he came to the deity, paying his obeisances to the deities. And because at that time I think there was only 2 temples. Calcutta, and I don't know if Bombay was established at that time. Anyway, Calcutta, Mayapur, and maybe Bombay. But they were the only temples we had in that time in India. So then Prabhupada came to attend, and he was paying his obeisance. Who are the deities? He said. They said, it's Radha Madhava, Srila Prabhupada. He said, from Mayapur? He said, yes, Srila Prabhupada. He said, I told you those deities should stay in Mayapur. Why did you bring them? Now when they go back, they should stay there. Never leave. Not leave. So this is historical. Because Jayadeva Goswami, you all know, great poet. He used to live here, Balaldigi, Pritukunda. Just before the Chaitanya Mat, there's a lying area. There's Murari Gupta temple there. That's called Pritukunda. So he was living there on the banks of Pritukund. He was the court pundit for King Lakshman Sen. And Lakshman Sen had that kund re-excavated and named it after his father, Balal Digi. Even today that pond is called Balal Digi. The area is called Balal Digi. And so he was the court pundit for King Lakshman Sen, the son of King Balal Digi. King Balal. And Jayadev, this was a couple of 100 years before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance in Mayapur. Historically, it was. You can see the remnants of the palace if you go to Bampakor village, but don't turn to go off, but you go straight through the village. There's the palace of King Lakshman Sen is still there. It's archaeological, what they call it, preserved thing. But it's there still, you can see. So anyway, that King Lakshman Sen and Jayadeva Goswami, these a few 100 years before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Mayapur, or appeared in Mayapur. Because he's eternally here, but his appearance and disappearance. But he wrote something, Jayadeva wrote, and he indicated how a spiritual city will come here. And he indicated how there'll be a temple, a nice temple, a magnificent temple. And he said that the name of the deities, the predominating deities, will be known as Sri Sri Radha Madhav Ki Jai. So this is a historical, this is the vision of the Acharyas. We are thinking, Prabhupada just went into some kind of ecstasy and said the deities shouldn't leave Mayapur. No, this is all the predictions of the previous acharyas. We think it's just coincidentally, Calcutta's only 100 miles, so we can bring Radha Madhava to the... Prabhupada had them bought, named them, installed them. We like to think that installation with these tears, that was the installation of ecstasy. Then somehow another Prabhupada stopped him in Calcutta, he should stay there, and then Mayapur was really okay. They come to Mayapur. Now they should not leave. It's all historical. We may not understand the vision of the acharyas, but we can follow their instructions. That much we can do. We get the instructions, establish their instructions. That we can do, and we should do. And we are doing it. As a result, you see, we follow the acharyas' instructions and how everything is manifesting. So generally, we're talking about small Radha Madhava. They usually install the big deities first and then the smaller deities, but this way was the other way around, I guess. But Radha Madhava, the small Radha Madhava were here before big Radha Madhava. So big Radha Madhava also were made in Jaipur, famous for their marble deities. And Srila Prabhupada gave us the dimensions of the deities. He said Krishna should be 5'10.5" Radharani should be 5'8" or so, 5'8.5", something like that, 2 inches smaller. And Krishna should be black, stone, and Radharani should be white. So we try to follow those instructions. And so they were made in Jaipur. And one of the main supervisors was Omkara. He was a pujari in Vrindavan. And so he was going to Jaipur to supervise the making of the deity. So he went there. When they were finished, so then he said to the Shilpi, the person who makes the deities, he said, so what do you think, Shilpi? And the Shilpi looked and he said, maybe the eyes are a little bit too big, because ISKCON devotees were given all the directions to how to make the deity. It wasn't, he didn't, he has his book, the Shilpi Shastri, they have, which gives you directions on how to make the deities and how big different parts of the body are. But ISKCON devotees, they wanted it kind of in a slightly different way. So Omkara Prabhu, he asked the Shilpi, so what do you think? He said, maybe the eyes, you made the eyes too big. So then the Shilpi got his tape measure and he measured no, that's all right. He said, actually everything is okay, it's perfect. It's all according to the Shilpi Shastri. But he said one of the Biela family. Biela is a very rich family in India, pious. He said the Shilpi said that one of the Biela family members came here and they saw Radha Madhava there. They just fell in love and he said, I want these deities. And the Shilpi said, no, I made for ISKCON. He said, well, you can make another one. He said, I can't do that. He said, well, okay, then make me another one. No, he said, you give me that one. I'll give you all the money you need, plus extra 1 lakh rupees, a lot of money, plus extra lakh of rupee. And he said, no, I can't make that. It's his special deity. I can't reproduce this one. He said, when the we have black marble and white marble. He said generally the black stone is twice as hard as the white marble stone. And but in this case, he said equal. The white marble is exactly as hard as the black stone. It is not like that. And he said when we are making the deity, we are carving the deity of Radharani, there's a beautiful ringing sound is coming, constant ringing as we are, like beautiful music is ringing, music is coming out all the time. So Billy said, okay, make me another one the same. He said, no, I can't do that either. I can't do one the same again. So Prabhupada, he gave all the dimensions and everything for Radha Madhava to be made. So anyway, it's a brief history of the deities. Our relationship is with Radha Madhava, so they made their appearance here so we can engage in their seva. Shri Krishna Janamastami ki jai, Shri Radha Madhava ki jai, Panchatattva ki jai, Sambhava Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Go Premanandi, Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Okay. Nitai Go Premanandi. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Jai Prabhupada ki